Now, congratulations to Team Kenya in the just concluded Olympic Games in Paris, led there by Faith Kipyegon, who of course became the greatest 1500 meters racer, men or women, of all time. Let's switch gears to matters politics now. And Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has found himself in a political dilemma on whether to cut links with ODM leader Raila Odinga and take over the opposition leadership, or continue working with him, hoping that he will back his 2027 presidential bid. Even though Musyoka has rejected the broad-based government deal between President William Ruto and Raila Odinga, the former Prime Minister, questions have emerged on whether the Wiper Party leader has the capacity to lead Kenya's opposition politics and keep the Kenya Kwanza administration in check ahead of the 2027 general election.
The move by Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party leader Raila Odinga to strike a deal with President William Ruto that has now led to the formation of a broad-based government has seemingly divided the opposition coalition, pitting Odinga against his core principles. NARC Kenya's Martha Karua has already written a notice to the Registrar of Political Parties seeking to quit the coalition. Together with the DAP Kenya's Eugene Wamalwa, Wiper's Kalonzo, they have vowed not to join the broad-based government.
If anybody was tempted to join Ruto's government, they were doing it as themselves, individuals, but not on behalf of Azimio la Umoja or supported in that effort by Azimio la Umoja.
Since then, Kalonzo has seemingly been leading the leaders of what has remained of Azimio in trying to keep the opposition politics alive. Wiper leaders argue that Azimio is not dead and that Kalonzo is firmly on the steering wheel.
He is now taking the steering wheel in the Azimio leadership. He is traversing different parts of the country, reaching out to Kenyans, and also listening to Kenyans.
The leader of ODM has insisted that he has not formed a coalition with Kenya Kwanza. It is clear by sharing government that amounts to a handshake. It also amounts into ODM without legally writing to the registrar of political parties quitting in a way the coalition. So when they leave the coalition remains standing.
And Kalonzo, now taking lead in the Azimio leadership, is working closely with also both Gen Zs and millennials to ensure we have the right governance systems and we ensure we have a progressive country. That is what's happening, Of course, there are many things that needs to be done. Like now we want all young people, IDs have to be issued. Remember, very many young people now don't have identity cards. And identity card is a prerequisite even when you are going to the university.
Kalonzo is now on a dilemma on whether to cut links with Odinga or continue keeping him close, hoping Odinga will support his 2027 presidential bid. But with Odinga's 5 close allies now in President William Ruto's cabinet and Ruto's support for his African Union Commission chairmanship's bid, if Odinga gets the post, he will be out of the 2027 presidential race and likely to support Ruto's re-election, leaving Kalonzo in a tight corner. With Odinga away from the local politics, can Kalonzo lead the opposition brigade?
We as Wiper are strong in Azimio, and we are going to remain in opposition. We are going to check the government. All of us joining government amounts into one party system. He's already leading the opposition. The members of parliament belonging to the rest of Azimio are opposing and checking government.
Kalonzo has proved beyond doubt that he's a decisive leader who is principled, and that principle has been attested by the 10 years he has been with the Raila from 2013, the humiliating interview that he was subjected to, and now he has not joined the government. He could have rushed for those positions, but he stood with the Kenyans. Remember, what people are talking about is just sharing positions. And that's what we have seen. And people with the principles, like His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, has gone beyond the expectation of many, and he has stood with the Kenyans. And that is why I would say he has proved to be the official opposition leader. People had hopes with His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, but that seemed not to be the case. Of course, he has gone for the AU bid. Now the opposition is Azimio members who are left with the Kenyans, and the Kenyans themselves and the Gen Zs. These are the opposition members.
The former vice president sacrificed his presidential ambitions for Odinga in 2013, 2017, and 2022. Recently, Kalonzo is said to have turned down offers to join President Ruto's government.
We will not join the broad-based dictatorship, because having all political parties supporting the government, that amounts into dictatorship. President Mwai Kibaki stayed in opposition for 3 terms and still eventually managed to defeat the Kanu regime. And therefore, we are going to stay in opposition, build up, work with Kenyans, stay with the Kenyans, because the government is not with the Kenyans at all.
Kenyans did not die for people to get slots in government. Young people did not come to streets so that ODM could get slots in government. So anyone who understands the root cause of all these protests and what young people are agitating for should not even think of looking for slots in government.
Wiper is now banking on Kalonzo to keep Kenya Kwanza administration in check.
Which means there's definitely a serious discomfort in the ODM following. And I am very sure, now that we are going to present Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka as a presidential candidate, and the other candidate is likely to be William Ruto, we shall defeat him in the morning and bring the country to order.
Kalonzo now seems to be in a dilemma on his political future.
Whenever you are talking about a coalition or parties that get together and form a coalition, it's never easy to manage coalitions. Hivi karibuni hata chairperson wa Azimio Summit ambaye ni mheshimiwa ambaye amestaafu Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, nadhani ataitisha kikao ili tujadiliane mambo haya kiwaziwazi.
Looking at their previous actions, there is no doubt that President Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua are experiencing a strained relationship. Some political pundits have predicted that the DP might be dropped as Ruto's running mate in the next election, even as talks emerge of a possible Kalonzo Gachagua ticket for the presidency. Vincent Odur, NTV.